Department of Education cutting funds for the youth service and community relations. How is this going to help the young people that your department is supposed to be looking after?
Well, we haven't cut funding on the youth service and community relations. What we have done is increased funding for equality, and I would put youth service and community relations, that's obviously part of the equality agenda. And as you'll know, we have Section 75 that's looking at equality on the basis of 9 grounds. Gender, disability, sexual orientation, marital status, the 9 grounds. And what we're doing is creating a much more equal education system. Prior to doing this, I had 2 meetings. I met with the Children's Commissioner and I met with representatives of the youth sector. And what we're saying is that those sectors, we need to put children and youth at the centre and make sure that we continue in a very focused, strategic way, putting equality at the core.
Now, I'm sure you heard about the 13-year-old boy that has recently become a father. Here in Northern Ireland, we have one of the highest teenage pregnancy rates in the UK. Considering this, do you feel there is sufficient sex education in the schools in Northern Ireland?
Well, first of all, I don't want to just focus on that one case, because these are human beings involved here. And I think in some ways the media focus was very unfair. And I think we have to give space to our young people. And those 2 young people have a lot of challenges facing them. It's difficult rearing children. It's one of the most exciting things that we do, well, certainly for me as a parent, but I think we should give them a bit of space and privacy and the support that they need. I believe we in society need to have a much more honest and open debate around issues in relation to sexuality. I believe, yes, we have one of the highest teenage pregnancies in Europe, and there's serious issues that we need and questions we need to ask ourselves in relation to that. I don't believe that we have open enough debates around the whole issue of sexuality, around the root causes of teenage pregnancies. One of the policies that I am bringing forward is review of special needs and inclusion, and it's looking at a range of provision, but one of them is, how do we deal with school-age mothers? How do we give support to our young women and girls who get pregnant? There's huge issues around violence in our society, issues around violence against our girl children.
But do you think that if we had better sex education in school, then maybe there wouldn't be as many teenage pregnancies?
Absolutely. And one of the reasons that my department is engaging with schools and issuing guidance to schools on relationships and sexuality is precisely for those reasons. But you cannot have the debate in just one part of society, because if you break the statistics down, you will see there's a greater number of teenagers who are getting pregnant from disadvantaged communities. So this is a big debate that we need to have in society. Some people will argue, and I don't agree with this, but some people will argue that in the past there was less. Or, I was listening to different programmes the other day talking about that you shouldn't have sex education in schools, and I don't agree with that. I think we should have. In the past, what happened to a lot of our girls was when they got pregnant, they were sent to different homes to have their babies hidden away from society, and then babies given up for adoption. And in many cases, it's been documented how those young girls were treated. Thankfully, we've now moved on where that isn't happening, our young girls. But we need an honest debate in our society. And the boys also need to take responsibility in this debate. Girls don't get pregnant on their own.